I want to introduce you to chat. Everybody, this is Jeff Boski. He's an ACR Team Pro. If you guys don't know him, you got to follow him here on Twitch and on YouTube. Live vlogging poker. Probably one of the first to live vlog the poker scene way back in the day. And somebody I've followed for a long time. And I wanted to have you on to discuss that, like vlogging, how your poker career got started. You've been in the game for a really, really long time online. And just kind of have fun today, you know?
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm here for the lulls. I don't have any drugs to consume on stream. I don't want to get banned again, but I'm on thin ice with Twitch for nudity. But
What?
yeah, I got banned for 3 days for nudity. Apparently, not me personally, but the I put some of my videos on break. The like my vlogs
Yeah.
from the strip club and the porn convention. Even though there's no nipples or anything, somehow it got flagged and they banned me for 3 days.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, I'll tell you this. I did just make partner today consuming cannabis. So I don't know. I never
Oh,
thought I would. I never thought I
congratulations.
would. I didn't think that was coming at all, man. So let's start like where'd you grow up, like educational background? How'd you get into poker?
Okay, yeah. Long story short, grew up in Michigan. Stayed there for 24 years. When I was 20, I dropped out of U of M and quit my full-time job to play poker for a living. Or wait, maybe I was 22. Yeah, because I was going to casinos and shit. But yeah, just was not happy working for the man, and I figured I'd rather be my own boss. And if I fail, it's on me. So YOLO, moved to Vegas 12, 13 years ago. Never went broke, never scammed anybody, and I'll consider that a success.
Absolutely, man. So you just ripped the band-aid right off and moved to Vegas. Were you playing live at that point or online at the time? How did you start into poker?
Yeah, mainly online, Party Poker, Poker Stars, Bodog, Paradise Poker, all that shit, and just realized I could make a balling ass average of $100 per day, grinding for 8 hours. So hey, that was fine by me.
Yeah, definitely. Enough to get by, not to have a job and get yelled at all day and do stuff you don't want to do. How did
Yeah.
you like learn how to play poker? Were there any like books or any like coaches or anything that taught like how'd you find information on how to play?
I mean, I'm looking at like 10 books I got here. Super System for tournaments. Harrington on Hold'em was the best. I signed up on training sites, Real Poker Training, Poker X Factor, all the original sites, Card Runners, Run It Once, and just consumed content to try to get better. And I think naturally I had a bit of an edge from coming from a Magic the Gathering background where all the coolest guys hung out. So I had a big edge there.
I didn't know that. I have a lot of friends that still play Magic to this day. That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty interesting, man. So, what did you do? You were primarily online and stuff. When you moved to Vegas, did you play the live tournaments there?
Yeah, a little bit. I was never backed until right before I moved to Vegas, and I just didn't have much net worth. I had very little roll, so it was a real big gamble. But a staking company had a lot of faith in me that I was going to profit for them, so that was the confidence that I needed, and I went on a huge upswing. As soon as I moved to Vegas, not really live. I've never really won anything huge live, but online, yeah, just consistent crushing on stars, and especially 2009 was definitely my best year, which you can see on like my Shark Scope graph or whatever if you want to pull that up.
Yeah, you've done a great video on your YouTube about that and just the grind over the years and like watching your graph grows. Like just it's just impressive to see the careers like that. And I tell this to a lot of the poker players that I have on the stream. Like I think it's important because my stream's a little bit different with like investing and crypto and stuff. And some people come in here sometimes and they're like, poker is totally gambling. You can't make money doing it. And it's like time and time again, I have people like yourself on that like, that can illustrate a career of somebody who studied, took the time to learn the game, didn't just brush it off as rigged, you know what I mean, and build up a bankroll and did it, and that's super important to me. What'd you do during like Black Friday then, being an online player?
That was a horrible time of uncertainty and fear and the unknown. When's it going to come back? Will it come back? Should I move? Should I sell my house? Should I start looking for a different job? And yeah, shout out to the government. Really appreciate that little screwball you threw us. But yeah, eventually I moved. I still kept my house and rented a furnished apartment in Vancouver in 2013, 2014 for a little over a year. And yeah, just grinded on stars and full tilt for that amount of time. Made a decent profit, but the living expenses were too much to really make that sustainable. So eventually, moved back to Vegas and played a lot of live to sustain, and it was a bumpy road. Not gonna lie, wasn't. I was actually looking for new career choices in 2017, looking to be a cop or used car salesman, some sort of sales position. Not sure.
Yeah, instead of doing like live poker, it's like a much slower, monotonous grind. Only getting to see one hand every couple minutes or something like that. The patience is so much harder, I feel like.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to adjust for. Rake, travel, expenses, time, dealing with other humans. It's tough.
Dealing with other humans. I can feel it. I can feel that, man. So when you were in Vegas, like, do you party much, or are you just pretty much a business? You're down to business while you're there.
Mostly business. I'll have some fun on the strip when friends come into town, either friends from Michigan or friends I've met over time. Especially like during the World Series, it's just nonstop action. Whether we're going out to dinners, going to parties, or just playing at the Rio or Win or whatever. Plenty of time to enjoy, but mainly, yeah, I'm all about that business, all about securing my financial future. And, financial freedom is something that's very important. And they say more money, more problems, but in reality, it's less money, more problems. And I've been on that end.
I feel you. I understand that completely, man. I understand it completely. So what's your favorite poker room in Vegas to work?
The win,
The win.
100%. I mean, I shill it so much, people think
You
I'm
do.
paid by them, but I'm not.
You just love the
It really
room.
is the best. It's the
Man,
best.
I need to check out the Win. I've never played poker there. I really like the Aria and the Bellagio, but I need to next time I'm in town. I'll have to stop in the Win. It seems like the place to play from all the
Yeah, I'd say
vlogs.
Aria is probably my second favorite, maybe Bellagio third.
And
Anywhere but Venetian.
are you predominantly a tournament player? Do you cash game at all?
Almost 100% tournaments. I mean, I'll play cash games when friends want to, hang out, have a few drinks, and fuck around. But it just doesn't really do it for me. I'm sure I'm a slight winner long term in cash games, but tournaments are my specialty. I've just studied them a lot more, and I enjoy the finality of it. The end goal of accumulating all the chips and getting the most money. That rush is tough to beat.
Dude, I agree with that. Like when you're getting close to a final table, there's like you can't. It's like hard to double up enough in a cash game to get that excited as the feeling of going deep in a poker tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can stack some guys and build a big stack in a cash game, but I mean, what are you gonna win? 5 buy-ins if you're super lucky? I'd rather win 50 buy-ins in a tournament.
How do you deal with like the variance, especially as like a live tournament? Like when you were doing like live tournament poker, the variance and like the long stretches, or how many hours you had to put in.
Great question. Of course, bankroll management's number one. If you can't get in the game anymore, then you're out of the game. So you're gonna want, I'd say, like 100 buy-ins for live tournaments, maybe 250 for online tournaments. That is if you're a break even or slightly winning player. Obviously, the more skilled you are, the less buy-ins you need, but the variance is insane. And you just got to stay on your game and not be too emotionally swingy when it comes to the downswings. Because when I started the poker vlog, I seriously just won everything. All these local tournaments, 100, 200 person tournaments, I won the win Saturday rebuy 3 times in a row, and people thought I was cheating or forging the results or somehow. I'm like I documented everything,
Yeah, yeah,
and
like
and they're like, "Oh, he's only showing the times he wins." I was like, "I, I can only play so much. What you think I'm playing? I'm creating new Saturdays to play. There's only so many Saturdays I can win in a row." And then that heater wore off after like 2 months, and then I went like 0 for 20, and then the haters really came out and said, "Ah, this guy, how does this guy survive? He never wins." And that was the problem with tournament vlogs and the general population not understanding how often you lose in a tournament. So I think part of them was upset that I would lose so often compared to like a cash game where a lot of cash game grinders might book a win 60% of the time and it's like a happy ending. People like happy endings.
I understand that. I've never really looked at it that way. That's a good way to put it. And like a cash game player can book like a small win, and have a nice little vlog. Whereas a tournament player, that's you got your shot at the tournament for the day. It's not like you're multi-tabling online either. You know what I mean? So it is what the story ends how it ends. You don't have as much control, I would say, as a cash game player. What made you start the poker vlog on YouTube? How did that come about?
Good question. The other thing with cash game players is they may or may not show all their sessions. You know, they might play for a few hours and be like, "Fuck it, I don't want to edit this vlog." I've never missed a tournament. So if you go back and look at my 400 videos, you see every live tournament I've ever played. If I have a cash on the Hendon Mob, there's a vlog for it. If there's not a cash, there's a vlog for it. So it gives you a real perspective, although it is somewhat depressing due to all the losing. I mean, what do you want me to do? I got to keep it real. Um, I'm sorry. How did I get into it?
Yeah, what made you start the poker vlog? No, that was a great bit of information to add as well.
The one day I was just playing around on my iPhone and I saw the app called iMovie and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I just opened it and it's like, "Oh, you can import pictures and like add music and make a little video." And I had like videos of my dogs playing at the dog park. And I just put a bunch of those clips together and you get like slow motion, a jump or them drinking water. And I just thought it was a real cool and creative way and like sent it to my parents and it's like, "Hey, look what I made." And they're like, "Cool, you should do that with your poker." And I was like, "Huh? Poker? Oh, live poker? Okay, I could document a live tournament and put it into a video form, I guess." And figured out you just gotta, upload it to YouTube. And I didn't even want other people to watch it in the beginning. I was like kind of embarrassed, like how much of a noob I was. But I just wanted to show it to like my parents and friends and be like, "Hey, look what I made. This is what happened. Just like an Instagram story or retelling a story. Here's the fucking video. Is this entertaining to you? Okay, maybe more people will like it." And made my YouTube channel public, and 4 years ago, and it's been growing ever since. So it's a net positive, and I've gotten a lot of opportunities through that networking.
Absolutely. When did you find like ACR, America's Cardroom? How did that link up?
Just over 3 years ago, due to my poker vlog, they contacted me on Twitter and said, "Hey, do you want to promote this $540 tournament we got going, 1 million guaranteed?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I play on there a little bit, and they're like, "Okay, if you retweet it, we'll give you a ticket." I was like, "Well, shit, $540, you got it." And I didn't, for some reason, I didn't just end the conversation there. I said, "ACR, you have a couple skins, right? Who are your site pros? Because like every tournament, every poker site has site pros." And they said, "We don't have any site pros." And I was like, "Well, hey, I could be your site pro." And they said, "Okay, let's work out a deal." And it's been smooth sailing ever since.
Hold up here, were you the first America's Cardroom site pro?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I didn't know that. That's amazing. And look at how far we've come now. Wow, there's so many people that have come onto the team, and you were there to realize it at first and kind of get on the team and be a part of America's Cardroom as it grew. That's pretty amazing, man. That's really amazing.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how the tournament schedule has grown from then till now. It's just night and day. There wasn't much really offered. Like a $30 20K was like the prime event. Now they got just tons of great micros, mid stakes, and high stakes that are getting real nice prize pools, good promotions, and I'm just really happy to be able to play on there, and I'm doing well, so that's good too. But it's a double-edged sword when people see I do well with like the shark scope graph or whatever. They'll say, "Oh, it's rigged for site pros." But if I lose, they can be like, "Oh, look at this loser, fucking loser." you know
Yeah, yeah.
so you can't win.
Yeah, there's no winning. It's the same with financial advice. That's why I'm like, stop, don't trade me, don't follow. Because if it goes up, it was there. It was they did it. They were like, I put the money in. Look at how much I made. If it goes down, they're like, you told me about this. So it's never worth it. Never worth
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, I'm up 10%. Should I sell?" And you're like, "I don't know." And then
it.
it goes to 5%, and they're like, "Oh, you should have told me to sell." They're never
Exactly,
happy.
exactly. I just have to explain. I'm a guy in a basement, just hanging out. Don't worry about it. Have you ever been to the cage? You've been to the cage down in Costa Rica. What is that experience like? First trip down there and like playing a different style for you. It's not tournament. It's kind of cash gamey.
The cage is super fun. I just don't like the travel. I don't like to travel in general. I don't like flying. I'm not scared of flying. I just hate the process. I just feel like a prisoner.
Hmm.
And just being stuck with that many people in a metal tube, just not fun to me, especially being really tall, very uncomfortable. And there's no direct flights from Las Vegas. But other than the travel, getting there, being there, they treat you like a king. The format's great, $5,000 buy-in, shorthanded, cash game tournament hybrid with antes, tons of action. Everything's comp. They give you a bunch of money and backpacks and all this shit. Comp your room, in-room massages, free food, go to nightclubs. It is kind of dangerous in San Jose, but I've never really had a problem. I have documented those journeys on my YouTube channel, so if you want to check those out, check out you know live Jeff Boski live cage or Jeff Boski Costa Rica. You could search those and you'll see what it's about.
Is that pretty much the most of the extent of the traveling you do? I mean, the majority of the poker's right there where you live in Las Vegas, huh?
Yeah, yeah, I really don't travel much. I was planning on traveling a lot more last year, but some things happened that stopped me from traveling.
Yeah, yeah, stopped everybody from traveling last year. So you think you'll get back to traveling a little more as coronavirus passes, or?
Yeah, not so much for poker, more for like just general enjoyment. I've never been to Hawaii. I've never been to Mexico. Those are two of the places I want to visit. I got some friends in Washington I want to see. Maybe go back to Detroit. I've never been to New York. Never been to Europe. So I got a lot to do before I die.
I'm gonna have to hit you up, dude. We go to this all-inclusive resort in Cancun that is just
Mm,
amazing. So after stream, I'll just have to send you a message of where we go. We go every
nice.
year. It's amazing. It's an amazing spot to stop in Cancun. So,
Appreciate the recommendation. So
yep.
that's the other thing. It's always good to know people that know things. That's one thing I've learned. The networking is huge. It's almost like a cheat code. It's almost like an unfair advantage on, you know, some good examples are, oh, you're going to a nightclub, you can wait in line, or you know the door guy and he's going to get you in free. Same thing for a strip club, or you're going to get your oil change. Oh, Jimmy the mechanic. Oh, here's $20 off. It just all adds up, and just being reputable and having friends that it's like I scratch your back, you scratch my back, really goes a long way in life.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's definitely good knowledge to pass down. For people like myself and others that are like starting vlogging and just in general, what do you think are some good tips for people and where they should start like you edit all your own videos and everything, don't you?
Yes, in the past, I did just finally get a video editor thanks to ACR. We got him on board for the team, and he's done a great job. And I'll check out my newest poker vlog, the $400 event at the Win. Some of the best edits I've ever seen, with the hand replayer and the layout and the scenes and everything. Um, but as far as tips, as a starting vlogger, just be comfortable in front of the camera. Look at the camera, or look at the hole where the camera is. Don't look at the screen, but be cognizant of what is on the screen at the same time. So you want to make eye contact with your viewers, and you want to be high energy. Normally, I'm a pretty monotone, laid back guy, but that isn't really the winning formula for growing a huge audience. The more words per minute you can put out, pretty much the more successful you're going to be, because people's attention spans are diminishing every day.
Okay. And did you use that like iMovie software the whole time you were editing your videos?
Yep, real ghetto, right on my phone, just fucking editing and doing the best I can with what I had. I'm aware there are other programs like Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere Pro, Shop, Final Cut X. Yeah, I just never I never wanted to learn them. I always wanted to be like, just more organic from my phone. Like this is an unpolished vlog. I don't want it to be too produced, but people want better production values, and I have access to a great editor now. So that will take some hours off my workload, and they can do a better job anyway, than I can. So it just seems like a no brainer. So I look forward to the channel growing with better quality content, because hey, if 20,000, 50,000 people are going to watch it, I want it to be the best it can.
Absolutely, man. And it shows the quality of the vlogs have grown, but even in the beginning, man, they were fun videos that already sucked us all in. You know what I mean? So now the quality just getting better is just gonna funnel even more and more viewers into the viewership to learn about what you do. You know what I mean? Do you still
Yeah, people.
study poker currently?
Yeah, nonstop. I have multiple deals with training sites that all want me to, give me freebies to check out their product and promote it, and with affiliate codes and stuff. I just don't have enough time to study, play, and do everything else I'm currently into. So I fit in as much studying as I can, especially when I feel like my game is slipping. A good way to really gauge how well you're playing versus how well you're running is Shark Scope graph, where it shows your EV and your chips won on a daily basis or monthly basis. So you might be like, "Oh man, I'm playing great, but I keep getting screwed all day." Or not Shark Scope, I say Poker Tracker graph.
Mm-hmm.
It will give you a pretty good estimate of, if you're just punting off. If you just keep getting it in bad, there's the actual mathematical proof, not just your feel of, "Oh, I lost ace king versus queens. I'm so unlucky." Okay, well, you lost five big blinds in EV. That's not that unlucky. And then just study more. Obviously, move down stakes if you're running bad, move up stakes if you're running good. Ride the heater or recoup and get your confidence back at lower stakes. There's nothing wrong with that. Same thing with cash games. If you're playing good, you're running good, you're stacking everybody, keep playing as long as you're playing good. Don't just book a win and cash out and say, "Hey, honey, I won $300. Jeff's a big winner. Make me dinner." You can't do. You got to just keep crushing and make the best of the situation.
That's truth, dude. One time a few times, dude, when I win a tournament, I just keep on registering until I pass out. You know what I mean? If I'm playing hot, I feel like it's being in the right mindset. Having the right mindset, you keep
Yep, it's the
playing
zone.
until you break. You know what I mean? And then you turn it off. You know. What are
Yep, I've
Go ahead.
called it the zone many times.
Uh,
It's a special feeling. It's like a drug.
it is.
It's the decisions aren't difficult anymore. You just know what to do. You're like, "Oh, this guy check raised me. I fold. Nice try. Not getting my chips. I'm not going to get mad about this shit." Or this guy triple barreled. A lot of draws missed. I got ace high. I call. Got him. It's not like, "Oh fuck, he triple barreled. Oh, if I call, he's going to beat me. If I fold, he's bluffing." And you fall into that mindset, and that's when you're done.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. What are like what's the most famous or, just like what's the most fun you've had in in a tournament? Like who have you sat with that you've looked up to or admired either in poker or outside of poker?
Uh, admired. I mean, the most fun tournaments are always the ones that win, to be results oriented. And it's even more fun when you can edit the vlog of that because you get to relive all those great memories compared to reliving how you busted, how you misplayed a hand, and then everybody in the chat berates you because they're very results oriented. But if you win, you're King Kong. Everything went right. Nice suck out. Nice win. You win the flip. Of course, you won the flip. Um, but as far as celebrities, I'd say I sat next to Nelly once in a Win 400, and um, I made a little small talk with him, but I couldn't get much. And then he busted, and I was like, "Oh man, this is my chance. I can get a selfie with Nelly." Mr. Country Grammar album I've listened to hundreds of times, and I was like, "Hey Nelly," I had my phone right. I'm like, "Quick picture, 1 second," and he just looks at me and he goes, "Nah, bro." And he just leaves, and I'm like, "Oh."
How did you meet Ryan DePaulo?
Ryan DePaulo, I think I first saw his poker vlog and he contacted me or I contacted him. And I just kind of grew a liking to him and I just helped him out a lot, helping his YouTube channel grow and with his poker game and helped him get a deal with ACR. And yeah, just
Did,
he's kind of a polar opposite of my personality with his outrageousness. But I think we're a pretty good team and we get along well.
Absolutely. And where I was going with that, do you do poker coaching? Did you coach him in poker?
Uh, Not too much. I mean, I never really charged him or anything. I used to do poker coaching for like 100 or 200 bucks an hour, but I just don't really want to do that at this moment. Maybe I'll open it up again in the future, but I'm just busy doing some other things. I do enjoy poker coaching. I think it actually makes me better because I'm like refreshing my brain as to a lot of things, and I kind of get a high off it when I'm done after just like ranting about strategy for an hour. It kind of feels good, like after like the post workout pump almost.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I guess like, we do a little investing over here. Have you hopped in the market? I've seen you in the stream. Are you doing any investing or anything like that these days? Any cryptocurrency or stocks?
Nah, I mean, I'm not too knowledgeable with that. All I know is just like SEP IRA is good for self-employed people because see, I don't even know. I have an accountant. I let the professionals do the important stuff. But I think SEP IRA is good if you're self-employed because it takes away from your net for the year, and then you don't have to pay taxes until you cash it out. And just put it in mutual funds, set it and forget it, like the Showtime rotisserie, and just let it grow. Put the put the dividends back into it, so get a little compound interest. I don't even know if that's the right term, but yeah,
Uh,
make your money work for you,
abs-
and don't pay
Absolutely.
interest.
How does it work as like a tournament poker player with taxes and stuff like that? I'm sure you get asked that all the time.
It varies from year to year, and there's just like different tax brackets depending on how much you make. In Nevada, Nevada doesn't have state tax, but there is self-employment tax, which is I think 15% plus whatever you make minus deductions. So if I play $100,000 in live tournaments and I cash for 150,000, that means I made 50,000 minus deductions for travel expenses, whatever else.
So you can
And
like deduct can you deduct tournament losses?
yeah, that's what it is. So
Awesome.
150 in buy-ins. If I win 150, you deduct the losses every year. And I
That,
think that's why a lot of people are incentivized to fire bigger if they are up, because if they lose, it's almost like a rebate. If you know what I'm saying, like it's like a 30% rebate because it's just money you don't have to pay for the taxes.
that you would have to pay it in taxes anyway.
Yeah, so if it's like a 1K buy-in, it's effectively like a $700 buy-in, I think.
Huh. Okay. And what's the World Series of Poker like?
It's been a net negative for me financially over the last 13 years or whatever. But always fun to see friends and chase the dream. Bubbled a couple final tables, so never really made any huge scores. I think my biggest score is 50K in the Millionaire Maker, and for like 27th. But
Is the
yeah,
Rio sticking around or are they moving it? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. But a lot of people ask me if they think WSOP is going to happen again this year, and I would say yes, based upon all the poker rooms reopening in town and all over the country, pretty much. Maybe we'll make it eight-handed. Maybe they'll have to put up the plexiglass, but I think the I don't want to say greed, but I think the possible income stream that could be generated will outweigh the risk of mass COVID outbreak at the Rio.
Absolutely, with vaccines and stuff. I think hopefully this year we can get back to live poker. I got a trip planned for April to Florida. Hopefully we can make that a reality. I'm itching myself to get back to play some live poker.
Yeah, it's different. It's a little less sociable. You can't really hear what people are saying, so you're kind of in your cubicle effectively with the plexiglass. And I mean that's fine. It's whatever. It's tough to see some action sometimes. Tough to see some chip stacks. Especially tough to hear if someone like puts out a 5K chip and says something. They're like, "Oh, 3,800." You're like, "Huh?" If you don't hear them, you just assume it's a 5K chip. So usually the dealer will clarify, but they do the best with the situation. It's not too bad.
I didn't think about that with the plexiglass and being able to see and get your chips out where they're visible and things like that. All the troubles with the audio and things like that live. I haven't played live obviously since the pandemic started. I hope our poker room, our local poker room, opens up soon. Because we have like a lot of local viewers of the stream that I would love to do a meetup with. So hopefully soon we can get that back. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good information to have. That's good information to have. What's it like in Vegas right now on the strip? Is it slowly coming back to life or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's pretty busy for the last 6 months or whatever. I don't go there that much, but casinos are still pretty packed. I mean, I go to South Point a lot for bowling, but yeah, it seems pretty normal. So everybody's wearing a mask, and I mean, don't want to rant about this too much, but let's just say I can't believe smoking is still allowed in casinos. It just blows my mind. I mean, let's smoke on fucking airplanes again. Why not? I got to breathe that shit in. What's the difference? Smaller confined area? I don't get it.
I agree, man. I hate smoking indoors, and it's like, especially cigarettes. You know, like obviously I sit here and smoke cannabis indoors in my house, but
Yeah.
cigarettes and like especially in public places, like I'm never really one to like. I'll go outside and smoke my cannabis if I'm in a public place, like at a bar, in a hotel. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a smokeless hotel room than smoke my cannabis inside in a room. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Smoking indoors is pretty foul in general in like large populations of people. I'm so glad poker rooms don't allow smoking in poker rooms.
True, but it's still it's they're not like, boxed in. They're not safe from all the cigarette smoke that's wafting around. Your clothes will still smell like smoke when you come home, especially from places like Bellagio where people are just smoking on the rail. They're like, "Oh, I'm not in the room. I'm out of the poker room. I'm just hanging over the rail watching the action, smoking a cigarette. What's wrong? It's my right. I'm allowed to smoke. You don't like it? Don't be at the casino." And I'm like, "Okay. Okay. You're an inconsiderate human."
Absolutely. Something you just got to deal with in a casino setting, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
How did
unfortunately.
how did you find Twitch and like live streaming from YouTube? What made you do hop like make start to do both?
I think I started maybe 2 years ago. Uh, just a way to interact with, people on my YouTube channel. I probably suggested it at some point, and maybe ACR wanted me to stream a little bit to promote some stuff. And, it it was kinda rough, rocky start at the beginning, but I got the hang of it. It is tou I've always been pretty good at multitasking since I've, been able to play, 12, 16 tables and text and watch TV and shit. So it wasn't too tough. It was more about me opening up and being able to share my stream of consciousness while playing, talking about shit, and then transitioning to the action on the tables and talking strategy and, you know, the inevitable giving away all this information, which is going to be a net negative for my profitability when I'm just saying exactly my thought process in every hand and showing my cards and playing so much. My opponents should get a pretty good idea of how I approach the game. So it is important to be somewhat balanced against these Munsons and try to still win tournaments.
Against these Monsons, that's great, dude. Okay. And like have you found, I guess because live tournaments take so long, I've always, I didn't really start as a live player myself. I played online. Did that really help you with like the long grinds of a stream and stuff like that? Because I feel like streaming is just in particular a long grind. And do you feel that's like more taxing, at the end of a session,
I think streaming's a lot more fun, a lot more sociable than playing live because you get all the action of the tables and the constant chat. It's interesting and allows me to interact and rant about stuff, do giveaways, and just kind of almost like a therapist. I get to talk to these people, and I even like kind of use them as my information source. Like uh, y I probably shouldn't, but I'm like, "We got any doctors in the chat? My ankle's hurting, what's going on here?" Or, just, like, random questions. Like, yesterday, I was like, "Keep hearing about this Top Shot. What's the deal with Top Shot? Give me some info. I don't have to look it up." And, gets a little conversation started, and I'm just genuinely interested, and I have questions, and they have answers, so uh, usually they're right, but sometimes if they're not, they'll get corrected or people will Google the answer. And it's just a good informational stream. And I like doing like trivia giveaways. Those are fun. I'll just pull up like a random moment in my life and be like, okay, this one time I was high on a roller coaster and I was eating a candy bar. Name the candy bar. They'd be like, oh, Kit Kat. Oh, you win. Okay.
That's
Just like
hilarious.
trivia you can't Google. you know.
Yeah. Something you
So
can
no
just
cheaters.
Google up. Exactly. It is a fun time streaming. It is a fun time streaming. And if you're used to the long, I wasn't used to like the long grind for a while, and just like having to be. Are you live do you go live? How often do you stream?
Maybe 3 or 4 times a week, usually on Sundays. I never really start from the beginning. There's too much action, too many tables. I usually wait till I get deep in some events or get close to a final table, and then turn the stream on when it's more manageable.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And do you hold because, ACR is all about cryptocurrency? Are you holding any cryptocurrency? Any Bitcoins?
Bitcoin, I've heard about that. That's a digital store of value. I heard Peter Schiff is a big fan.
I don't think so. I don't think so. That's great.
Oh, I might be uneducated in that realm.
You lost it in a boating accident. I got it. I got it. I got it. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I guess what else? Do you have any questions? Any questions for me or anything like that?
Well, we got some. I think we got some questions in the
From
chat
the
if you want to
chat?
address.
Yeah, absolutely. Has your chat ever made you dye your hair?
I don't know what that's in reference to.
To you, has your chat ever made you dye your hair in your stream? So I don't think so.
No, is that like an? Sounds like an inside joke. Sounds like I'm
No.
missing something.
Live tells or just robo playing live?
Mostly just fundamentals, but if there's like a big river decision, there are some live tells you can be picked up. If you can tank on the river, and you can see their neck pulse, you can judge if they're bluffing depending on how fast it's pulsating as the hand duration goes on. So let's say Rand Corp fires a big river barrel into me, and I notice his neck is pulsating quickly. 1 minute later, it's not pulsating as much. It's more likely he has value. On the other hand, Rand Corp fires that third barrel and his neck isn't pulsating or he's not breathing heavily. 1 minute later, it keeps going up and up because it'd be more likely he's bluffing at this point because he's more nervous and it's a high tense pressure situation where he really wants me to fold. Do you understand how that works?
Absolutely. And their heart rate's going up, and you're seeing it through their carotid.
Yeah,
Any other?
well, bluff versus value ratio. So you're excited. Imagine you got the nuts. You bet a big amount. You're excited. You got the nuts. But as time goes on, you kind of get less excited because you're like, oh man, he's not calling. Oh yeah, I still got the nuts, but I'm kind of getting bored here. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Oh, he's folding. Fuck. Compared to big bluff. Here we go. Okay. Kind of nervous. Oh, 1 minute deep. Oh fuck. Can't breathe.
They might call.
He's fucking calling. Oh my god, I got to tell my backer I punted it off. Oh, my wife's gonna kill me. Oh, I should have checked. All these thoughts are going through your head, and it's just human nature.
Elvin Mitz has a really good question. Another one. Do you see any value in using State Kings personally, or is it just a good marketing tool?
I've used stakings a few times in the past. Not so much that I don't have the bankroll management for the events. I just thought it was good to help build the Twitch stream and ACR and stuff like that, and for a lot of people to like sell half of the action and people can get a sweat while they watch. I think that's a pretty cool feature, and I don't even really sell at markup or anything. But it is usually for bigger tournaments, like 1Ks and 2650s and stuff.
Absolutely. I need to look into that, selling some action on there. I'm
Yeah, it's
assuming.
fun, and they're a good company to work with. Really easy to use the interface. I'm not getting paid to shill for them or anything, but
Do you have any other tells like live other than carotid or anything like that?
I had one in the most recent vlog. A guy triple barreled me on the old Queen 8 3 4 3 board, and I had Queen 10. And I think normally I fold the flop or the turn, but I was just like, well, fuck, I got top pair, Eh, but he raised the flop, and he raised the flop in position on Queen 8 3. And the eternal question, which you should ask yourself every hand, is what's he repping? And I really couldn't put him on a reasonable hand. I mean, people play differently. I can't, not everybody plays perfect GTO style or whatever. There shouldn't be any raises on the queen 8-3 board in position against pre-flop raiser unless you have like specifically pocket threes and you're putting them on an overpair. So when he unloads the clip on the 8 river, queen 8-8-3-4, and I have queen 10, I'm just like, what's he repping versus people don't bluff enough live. So I was in a bit of a quandary, and I took seriously one of the longest tanks of my life, maybe 5 minutes. I even did the old apologize to the table thing. I was like, just give me one more minute. Luckily, no one called the clock on me, which is pretty rare. Um, and eventually, I started talking to him, which is tough with the plexiglass. And I noticed he kept staring at me. Like he wasn't looking down, he wasn't looking at his chips or the pot or anything. He was staring at me. And I'm like, why is this guy staring at me? Is it more likely he's staring at me because he's got such a strong hand? He's like, oh yeah, I'm really savoring this moment. Look at this guy squirm at my sick river bet. It was more like I'm staring at him to pretend like I'm confident. So just like a level one reverse, as opposed to just staring down and just not doing anything because there's no reason to stare at me when you shove all in on the river. The action's done for you.
Right.
It, you don't want to give anything away. So you shouldn't stare at someone in that situation. You should definitely glance at someone if there's still action. Like you bet, a 30-year stack on the river and it's on them. They might jam on you, and you got to pay attention. Make a decision then. But then he just kept staring at me like this, and I said, "Why are you staring at me, bro?" And he didn't say anything, and I was like, "All right, I call." And he had 7 high.
Do,
Spoiler alert! Check out the new vlog.
yeah, that's what's up. Do you play any other games in the casino or strictly poker?
Nah, luckily it doesn't really do it for me. No sports betting, Pai Gow, Baccarat. I've seen too many bad stories, too many degens go down the tube.
And you're not even like the thing about poker that I love is you're beating another person. Like
Yeah,
the rest of the casino, you're not like beating anybody. You know,
yeah. Well,
like
you
don't
can
ever
also
think
look
you're
at that,
hurting the casino.
but you can also look at that in like a non-empathetic manner. I discussed this on the stream yesterday, where poker is a pretty brutal game where you're trying to steal someone else's money at the same table as you. It's if you win, they lose. You feel joy, they feel pain. So you have to think about all the times they give you pain, so you don't feel empathy when you do them dirty, or I'm actually surprised more things don't happen historically at the poker table since it's such a emotionally swingy game. Like no one gets shanked or, fights break out because there's so much emotion, and that money can mean a lot to somebody. That might be their rent money, or their kids' breast milk money. You take that, that's going to hurt.
I
But they shouldn't be
yeah.
playing with it in the first place. That's not your fault. They
I,
signed up for this.
Absolutely, man. I was in the main event of a tournament like, 2019 here in Cincinnati, and this guy at my table punted, a couple times and came back to my table, and I beat him on like this bluff that would have definitely taken him out of the game, and he went out like several hands later. And I
Mm,
definitely bluffed him, but I could see that this guy was like visibly shaken, like about to cry. Like he didn't have that money to fucking lose, I could tell. So like I just told him I had it just because I felt bad. I wanted to be like, dude, I had it. Like you made the right fold, even though I
you
just
lied.
felt, yeah, I felt so bad. I just felt so bad. And you come upon those people where you're like, you shouldn't be spending this money right now, but there's nothing I can do to stop it. You know what I mean? You're doing it. And somebody at this table is going to take it. So it kind of is what it is. Um, what do you do for like? This is a good one. Efficient said. What do you do for hand reviews on your vlogs when? Like, what are some of the ways you remember how hands played out when you go to record the vlog?
A lot of them are just from memory because it's, every 2 hours you get a break and then you can just talk through them. There's not that many big hands. A lot of them, C bet, take it, raise and take it, check fold. but the important hands, if there are a lot of them, I will start taking them down in the Notes app on my iPhone and then just quickly glance over them before I talk into the camera. But I do have a very good, like, photographic memory for that stuff, and even when I have, like, the stand-in people, that join that's kind of a thing on the vlog where there's just a random guy sitting next to me, usually playing at my table or just, knows about the vlog, they just wanna be in it, and their job is to do nothing, and, yeah, people like it.
You love bowling. This is a great question. I've got a lot of bowling friends. Some are in the chat. What's your
Yeah.
handicap in bowling?
Well, handicaps usually derive from, like, a 220 average, so and it's usually 90% of that 220. In one league, I'm a 215, in the other league, I'm a 208.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty amazing. I can't even break 100 bowling. I'm an awful bowler, so just never bet against Boski on the bowling lane. Never bet against Boski on the bowling
You're not the first person to say
lane. How long have you been
that.
bowling? How long have you been bowling?
It was my favorite sport when I was young, maybe from like 6 to 20. But how I fucked up was I didn't even think about it, but I never got like coaching. I had some leaks in my game that I should have worked out when I was younger that I never did, and now I have to change on the off season. I'm going to put in a lot of work with some professional bowlers and change my approach completely. I do have a good backswing and release, but that doesn't complete the puzzle. My approach is very flawed. My footwork and how I get low to the ground, it's not low at all. I got to get lower to the ground. So we'll be working on physical and technique in the off season. You'll see me doing lunges and squats on a daily basis. We got to get the legs into it a lot more.
Wow, so we're going serious. Are we going to see this on a professional level here?
Uh, I actually, I actually thought about that a few months ago, and then I injured my finger, and then then I was like, if I injured my finger bowling, 6 games a week, professional bowlers might bowl, 50 to 100 games in a week. And that's just ridiculous. The amount of stamina, focus, and just physical strength and the ability for your hand to endure that much friction. A lot of people underestimate it. And I know a lot of people, think bowling's a joke or it's not a tough sport just because there isn't a ton of money in it. But let me tell you, it's fucking tough. Just I was high one time and I was bowling, and sometimes you're in the zone, sometimes you're not. I broke it down as okay, I'm going to put my fingers in this 15-pound cannonball and throw it 60 feet down this piece of wood and knock down 10 pins that are each 3.5 pounds each. One ball, 10 pins, 60 feet away. You think about how hard that is? Then you throw in a hook and the differing oil patterns. It's
It's
pretty dead.
it's
It's pretty tough.
amazing. It's amazing to watch. When I go bowling, somebody in the chat's never considered bowling physical. Man, you go bowl 2 games and tell me you're not sore after bowling 2 games of bowling. Because you're not used to those movements either. If you
Exactly.
don't bowl, go bowl 20 frames and then tell me you're not hurt and your hands don't hurt the next day. You're gonna have
Yeah.
they absolutely are. I know they are.
Especially if you have house shoes and a house ball and you don't have proper technique, you're going to be sore as fuck. Your arm, your forearms, your fingers are going to hurt. It's no joke. I mean, this isn't tiddlywinks we're talking about here.
Yeah,
This is bowling.
they're not light balls. They're not light balls to be thrown. So you have all your own gear. How often do you have to get a new bowling ball or new shoes? I've never really thought about that as bowling.
Well, funny you say that. I was at a pro shop yesterday with my teammate. He owns a pro shop. It's good to have a teammate that owns a pro shop. And he actually refitted my ball. I got to pick up my new grips tomorrow. We're trying to figure out why my finger gets injured. Something's wrong, and we got to find a solution because it's not sustainable for me to bowl only 3 games a week and be in pain for until the next week of bowling. Um,
Absolutely.
another, since you mentioned it, new shoes. I just got new shoes in the mail a few days ago for free from Strike Force. Shout out to Strike Force Mesh bowling shoes. They fit like a glove, and I'll be trying them out next league night. Compliments of Strike Force. all part of social networking and, putting yourself out there on social media and, not being a scumbag, being able to interact well with humans and, have some good business sense.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Do you ever go to conventions in Vegas? You're in the convention capital. Do you ever just wander into conventions that you're interested in?
No, there's not really bowling conventions.
There aren't bowling conventions?
Not that I know of. I don't know.
What about
Only
any no other conventions do you roll into? That all the conventions that roll to town, you never just kind of stroll into one, see what's going on?
I did go to a Magic convention, about a year and a half ago at the convention center just 'cause a few of my friends, are, like, professional Magic dealers or professional Magic players, that I just recently, became friends with in the last few years, indirectly through poker. I quit playing Magic in the year 2000, sold all my stuff, but the, nostalgia and the love for the game is still there. But the stereotypes are true, definitely, a very nerdy crowd, but that shouldn't really be a negative because these people are very nice and very trustworthy, almost too naive. I almost feel bad like they're gonna get owned or scammed because they're, like, too friendly and too I don't wanna say soft, but that's just the vibe I get from them. Not that that's a bad thing, um, but they're just playing a game and having fun. Don't hate on Magic players. I mean, I guess like D&D is probably nerdier, right?
Yeah, I used to play both as a kid, to be honest. So I'll
Yeah,
take the title for both of those.
yeah. Who cares? I mean, if you wanna play Zelda or fucking Tiger Woods or Tekken or Mortal Kombat, I mean, who's to judge you? I mean, you're not doing anything wrong in the community. It's not like you're smoking cigarettes at a slot machine and not tipping your waitress like a real scumbag.
That's what's up. And like as what do you do in your free time to kind of relax and wind down other than bowling? Is that your main?
Yeah, bowling, nice restaurants, hang out with my girlfriend, go to the desert with my dogs, just do more business stuff, try to, use these training sites that are available to me to make me a better player, promote my YouTube channel, show these companies. Okay, in chat, AVN convention. That is a convention. I went to the AVN Expo 3 years, and people really like that vlog with the porn stars.
Yeah, absolutely. What was that like? What was the crowd like there?
Kind of like a Magic crowd, a lot of nerdy guys. There's not really a tension in the air, but there's like a weird envy, because these are guys that have clearly watched all these movies to completion, and now they get to meet their favorite stars in real life. So I'm sure it's real special for them. And all the girls are real nice. Some of them get a little aggressive, demanding money for pictures, but most of them will take a picture or a video with you for free. And as you can see in my videos, like I never paid any of them, but I got them to give me a shout out or say something funny to the audience or you know uh, hop around or say a tagline. But it's always a good time, but it's just kinda getting old after going for 3 years, it's kinda the same thing.
Over and over again. Yeah, it's just the same thing. And I'm sure it's just like a little bit of a money grab and monetization for all those people to be able to get in front of fans and just grab money for photos and stuff like that in an industry like that, I feel like.
Yeah, they sell DVDs, there's no nudity there, so the YouTube video's never been pulled, they always, like, tape up the, areolas, keep a thong on,
Mhm.
keep it keep it PG-13, but, yeah, they sell, signed pictures and sex toys and stuff like that, and it's, like, $100 for a ticket, so I'm sure that they probably get a cut of that, adds up.
Absolutely. And I'm sure the strip clubs are just popping off during that time.
Popping. Yeah, they all the guest appearances, I'm sure they get paid a ton to, be on stage, do lap dances, VIP, lot of money in that.
What's what's any tips for somebody who's just getting into the live grind on as a poker player, you don't get that many rewards at casinos, like traveling and stuff like that. Any tips for somebody trying to do that type of thing? Like how do you get rewards or kind of work your way with casinos and not get taken every time you try to go to one?
We'll always get a player's card. Of course, you're gonna give away your information, and they're gonna email you, like, promotions and stuff. But I mean, for most poker rooms, you're going to get in between $1 to $2 per hour comps on that card when you play live. You might not get anything for a tournament, but just like I always say, it never hurts to ask the floor man for like a $10 food comp. Um, just like anything, it never hurts to ask anywhere. If you're ever going to give money to a business, unless they're like a chain like McDonald's, well, I mean, you can always ask for extra sauce. You know, you can always get something. Just don't be predatory about it. Don't be a scumbag like you're eating at Applebee's and you fucking have a dead fly in your pocket and you put it in your burger after you ate half of it. I know people, or I don't know any people, but I've heard about people scamming like this to get free food because the customer's always right. There's ethical ways to get max value. Don't pay retail. You really never have to pay retail. Retail is for suckers. There's always a promo code online. Um, would I've heard this saying many times, and I think it's very true. Let me tell you, or let me get your feedback, Mr. Rand Corp. A penny saved is worth more than a penny earned.
Absolutely, it is.
Why is that?
Because if you're saving it, it's going to make you more pennies. If you earn it, you might spend it, and it might not have that chance to make you any more.
Not the exact angle I've always followed, but think about it from from tax perspective.
Yeah,
If you save a penny, you don't have to pay tax on that. But if you earn a penny, you have to pay tax on it, and you're still up one penny.
very true. This is very true. I've never thought about it that way. Never thought about it that way.
Yeah, so just spend less, and you don't get taxed on what you buy. Oh, even more so. What a scam sales taxes. Oh, you want to buy something? Pay us. Like what? Why am I paying you for buying something from this mom and pop shop? Why does
Cat.
the mom and pop shop have to pay the credit card company to process the transaction? Is it enough that the credit card company is going to scam a lot of their customers with exorbitant interest rates? Let's talk about banked overdraft fees, minimum balances, making the poor poorer and the rich richer. Is that fair?
No, not at all, man. That's why I do the stream. Some of the best moments in the stream for myself is when it clicks for somebody and they sign up to start saving because I wish somebody would have taught me this myself, 15, 20 years ago. I wish they would have taught what I'm trying to learn right now in my basement at 35. I wish they would have taught me this in high school. You know what I mean? So
They
that
don't teach. Yeah, they don't teach finance in high school. They
no.
don't. They might spend a day on it. I don't remember ever learning, how to not get owned by credit card companies, how to not get, owned by a savings account in a bank, or overdraft fees, early withdrawal fees, ATM fees, um, just money management. I think money management and cooking, you should have that class every year in high school, junior high, and just keep compounding it. Either physical cooking or nutrition. Nutrition, cooking.
No.
You need good fuel in your body. Um, you can save a lot of money by cooking at home as compared to eating out, getting fucking Grubhub, taxes upon tax upon fees for shit food. It
And
doesn't take that long. Learn how to fucking throw your dishes in the dishwasher. Don't be lazy. It's a win-win. I enjoy the anticipation of something cooking in the oven. I'm already hungry. Sure, I would like to eat now, but it's like foreplay. You don't want to get right to it.
it is. It's
You
true.
know,
It
you know what I'm
is.
saying? It's the
Absolutely.
anticipation.
The smells, the actual
Yeah,
working the ingredients together and seeing it all come together, man, it absolutely is.
the
It's all
reward.
part of the process. All part of the process. And you're so right about saving, and I think schools, like I wish all schools taught finance and cooking as well, man. I definitely agree with all of that. It's definitely something that's important. And it's not
Cool.
taught as much.
You want to go over a few questions in the chat, and I got to get going. I got a massage I got to go to actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Fair is a place where they judge, an average person. Simple tricks, basic amount of repair. I think we got them all. How to balance a checkbook. Everybody's been loving that, man. I mean, you have any questions for me, or where can people find you? Let's let people know where they can find you after this. Where can they find your blogs, Twitch?
Gotcha. Jeff Boski, Boski on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you'll be alerted when I put out new vlogs. It's free. Comment, like, subscribe. It all helps the algorithm of the channel. Please put a link in the
Yep.
description or chat if you can.
You know.
I see you are a rook on Twitter. That was my poker star's name, just the letters. ICURAROOK, as in rookie, an insult within a screen name. Many people have tried copying this, which I guess is flattery, with slight variations of I see you are a nit, I see you are a bitch, and a few others. So, I guess that's flattery. And Instagram, Jeff Boski Poker on Instagram. I try to put out a few clips on Instagram stories every day, and I put a lot of time and effort into the clips. A lot of people will just film a little 15-second thing, put a little banana emoji on it, and call it a day. I actually film it and then fully edit it and make it more presentable, because if a few thousand people are going to watch this, why not put in the extra effort to make sure they enjoy it, compared to it being some bullshit, blurry ass, video. You gotta appreciate the content, the craft. And that's Jeff Boski Poker on Instagram. Give me a follow. We're almost up to 10K viewers. Trying to get verified on there so I can do the old swipe up for my OnlyFans link. Just kidding.
That's great. That's hilarious. Good joke. Good joke. Dude, I really appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us, cracking over the hour here, man, and coming on a little early. It's been super fun. It's been super fun.
I appreciate you having me on. Also, please check out Adopt a Boxer Rescue, uh, adoptaboxerrescue.com. That's the main organization charity that I support. I feel most charities are scams, and the fact that most of your proceeds don't even go to the cause. It goes to administration fees and rich bigwig CEOs and advertising, commercial time, all this bullshit. Adopt a Boxer Rescue is a 501c3 charity, tax deductible, and you can follow their progress on Instagram and Twitter. It shows when new dogs come in. You might be able to adopt the dogs if you're in the East Coast, Pennsylvania, New York area. Most of them are saved from Amish puppy mills. Stop Amish puppy mills, adopt, don't shop, help control the pet population, have your pet spayed or neutered.
That's what's up, man. I really appreciate your time today. I put that in the chat. Everybody check out the charity. I know you're known for giving to them when you win at poker, and thank you, dude. We'll have to do this again after a big win, or hopefully we'll meet up for a beer in Costa Rica or something when travel comes back together.
Sounds good. Let me know if you ever come to Vegas, or yeah, if you're ever at the cage, I will hope to be there. We will see.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Have a good one, brother. Thank you for watching the YouTube videos. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, comment down below, help us out with the YouTube algorithms. And we're live 5 days a week on Twitch, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. EST. Come check us out. Thanks for watching.